welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I am Coach Julia, and today we're going to be making the second of two outfits I am going to be wearing at a competition this month. Oh my goodness, it is coming up so soon. If you watched my video last week, you'll have seen me put together a dress made out of scraps for a footwork routine. And in that video, I was talking about how this is going to be my first competition in 5 years. I'm very excited. Practice is going well. I now have one of two outfits out of the way. I need to make the second. So this outfit is going to be for my artistic routine. I am going to be skating to a song called The Only One from Melissa Etheridge. I think it's a really hot song. It's a little bit sultry, and I wanted an outfit that really showed that. I always want my music and my outfit to really work together. So I'm thinking of them as two parts of one story. And so I have this dark red and this, they call it paprika colored mesh, okay? I'm thinking I might want to dye this a little bit darker. And then I'm gonna try to dye this piece of mesh to have a sort of an ombre thing. The other thing that I'm going to do is something I've never done before. I'm going to try to make this, instead of being a dress, a one-piece outfit, leggings, top, all of that, so like a unitard, which I've never done. So I'm excited for a new challenge. So we're going to be tackling two things today: dyeing this fabric and sewing up the costume. If you'd like to see how the competition day actually goes, come back next Sunday, the 23rd, for a competition recap video, and you'll get to see me skating in this costume. We're going to begin our project by dyeing our fabric. So the instructions on how to dye fabric are on the back of your RIT dye container and also on their website. But we're always going to start with a tablespoon of dish soap, and since it's a synthetic, I'm putting in a cup of white vinegar. If it was a natural fabric, I would use salt instead. Then we're going to apply the dye. Now I'm just starting with about a half a bottle. We're going to see what the color looks like with that much, and then I can always add more dye to my water bath later on. I'm starting with two little pieces of sample fabric. They're both wet, and I'm just going to dye one of them. I'm keeping the other one so I can compare it. So we have two wet pieces of fabric. That way I can see side by side what my color is looking like and decide if I need to add more dye to my water bath. I'm really happy with this color though, so I think I'm going to go ahead and add my fabric. Now this fabric is going in wet. I want to get it really, really evenly wet. If there are dry patches, or if you put it in dry, it's going to absorb the dye in a patchy way. So you always want to start with wet fabric going into a dye bath. We're kind of stirring it to get all the air bubbles out, but wow, loving this color. So I'm happy with this color. It's been in there for over 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pull that fabric out. I always put it on the lid here so I can transfer it over to the sink without it dripping all over my kitchen. Then I'm going to dye the mesh. So I'm just dip dyeing it. I'm going to over and over dip it into that water bath so I can bring the lower half to a darker color and give it a little bit of an ombre going up to that orange. Once I'm happy, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lift it out of that water bath, place it on the lid of my container, and bring it over to my sink. We want to rinse it until the water runs clear, and then it goes into a laundry. Once it's laundered and dried, we can begin with cutting out our project. So I'm going to lay my leggings pattern out on this fabric, and I want to have a top that actually matches the seam line of the skating dress bodice that I'm using. So I'm going to take those two pieces, the front and back of the skating dress, and I'm pinning them down the side as if it was the seam. That way I can open them up and I have the shape of the seam. So you can see that little curved thing. I'm going to put that right above the top of my leggings, and that way I can mimic that curve when I cut the leggings out. We're now going to go ahead and pin the front seam and the back seam. Then we're heading to our serger, and I'm going to go ahead and sew the seam up the front and the seam up the back. Once we have the front and the back seam done, we're going to match them up and put a pin so that those seams line up, and then we're going to go ahead and line up the entire inner leg seam on both legs and then we can sew that leg seam. Now I like my leggings to have a bit of a cuff, so I'm going to take some scraps here. I'm going to measure the width of the bottom of my leggings and cut out a rectangle. I'm going to take the short ends of these two little cuffs, I'm going to pin them together, and then head over to my serger where I can sew those cuffs together so we have a little donut. Then we're going to take our little donut, we're going to open it up and fold it in half so that the seam is hidden inside. And then that will get pinned to the bottom of my leggings. And then I can go back to my serger and sew that cuff onto the bottom of my leggings. This gives me a really nice finish on the bottom of my pants, and that cuff kind of hooks onto the bottom of the heel of my skate so I don't have to use anything to hold them down. So my leggings are done. It's now time to cut out the bodice. So I have some markings with chalk on the bodice so that the seam on the bottom matches the leggings. So now we're going to pull out some fabric from my stash to create a really cool cutout pattern on this dress. So we're going to lay the bodice out on top of the mesh, and then we're going to cut out an exact copy of it. So it's exact same size, and then we're going to lay both of them out on top of the nude fabric. So we're creating a little sandwich. So we have the mesh in between the solid burgundy and the solid nude, and then we're going to repeat the same thing with the back. So we have a sandwich both on the front and on the back of this dress, and you'll understand what I'm doing in just a moment. So we're going to cut those out, and then we're going to create a cutout pattern. So very carefully, I'm going to do some measurements here. I'm making some pin marks, measuring these pin marks, so when I go onto my machine, I'm going to use a zigzag stitch and I'm going to sew along those pin marks. So here I'm going to show you what I did with the zigzags. You can see it a lot better on the nude side. So this is just, I've zigzag sewed that sandwich together. Now I'm going to very carefully cut along that zigzag line, and it gives me a little illusion cutout. So since I have that nude backing, it's going to look like this is a see-through section on my dress without it actually having to be see-through. Now I'm going to carry that pattern along onto the back as well. So when I sew the side seam, it looks like that little nude cutout goes all the way from the front and wraps around to the back of the dress. So then we're just going to repeat that process on the back. So I'm zigzagging that same pattern onto the back of my bodice, trying to make it really even on both sides. And then I'm going to cut out the top layer, that burgundy layer, and leave the nude mesh and the solid nude underneath. The next thing I'm going to do is put in an invisible zipper in the back. Dresses don't always have to have an invisible zipper, but I find I like them whenever possible on my dresses because it gets a lot easier to get in and out of these dresses. So now we have a complete front and a completed back. We're then going to pin together the side seams and the shoulder seams. I'm just going to run a serger stitch around the edges. So here we have our leotard, lots of little strings here. I'm going to flip it inside out. We're going to trim off all those strings, but you can see it's starting to take shape. And we have a square neckline with a little pointed neckline, and we have some daring looking cutouts on the sides. I'm just going to run a serger stitch around the edges just to seal them together. Since it is 3 layers of fabric, it's going to make it easier for me to finish these if it has a nice serged edge. So I'm not really removing any fabric, I'm just cleaning it up and sealing those 3 layers of fabric together. So I'm going to fold it over and run a zigzag stitch around the armholes to seal them up nice and clean. And then around the neckline, I put in a nude thread, and I'm using a nude bathing suit elastic. And I am going to put a bit of elastic around the neckline just for a little bit of added security and to keep it up really nice and tight. So my leotard top is complete. I think it looks pretty good. It's just about exactly how I had imagined it. The next thing we're going to do is put on a skirt. Now I don't want a complete skirt. I have this vision for kind of a half skirt going along one hip. I've never done that before, but I think it's going to be really cool. So we're just going to do a half skirt. So I don't really have a pattern for this, but I've done a lot of skirts in the past, so I kind of have an idea of what I want. I want 2 layers. I want it to have a bit of a flutter. I want one layer longer than the other and a little bit wider than the other. So hopefully this works out. I'm going to run a really tight 3-thread serger stitch around the edge. Mesh does not need an edge, but I think it looks really nice and clean when you do a serger stitch around the edge of your skirt. So we're going to take our bodice and we're going to pin those 2 layers of skirt to the bodice. Then I'm going to zigzag that to the bodice before I try to attach it to the pants. And then we're going to take the pants and line those 2 seams up, the 2 waist seams. So we have a one-piece outfit. And it's time for our last seam on the machine to complete this outfit. And here we have the complete one-piece outfit. It looks really cool. I am loving how the skirt came out. The cutouts are exactly how I imagined them. They are gonna look so cool once they have all of the stones on it. I'm gonna try it on, just make sure there's no little weird things I have to fix, but I think we're done. Okay, so this costume is almost done. The sewing portion of this project is complete, and I'm really excited with how it turned out. I tried it on, it fits great. I think it looks really cool. It's got this fun little half skirt going on here, and the way the dye on this half skirt came out, I am so excited. There's kind of this movement to it. There's different colors and tones, and I think it's really cool. I'm very happy. And this whole illusion idea, I'm excited with how that came out. So, you guys know though that this is not a complete costume. I am not happy with the costume. I don't consider it competition ready until it sparkles. And this costume is cool, but it does not sparkle. So my next project is going to be putting as many crystals onto this costume as I can pull off. The competition is coming up so soon. I don't have a lot of time to do the stones, but we are going to tackle that project next. So come back on Thursday the 20th. Okay, that's this upcoming Thursday, and I will be putting all of the crystals onto this costume. And at the end of the video, I'll go out on the ice for a practice session, make sure everything's cool before I compete in it, and I will show you the final look. Okay, so come back on Thursday the 20th to follow along with the stoning and see how this dress looks complete. And then Sunday the 23rd, I'll be posting my competition vlog. You'll get to follow along for the weekend and see the complete program. So that's next Sunday, the 23rd. All right, skaters, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give us that thumbs up. And as always, I'm looking forward to reading all your comments in that section down below. If you haven't done so yet, then hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you can see all my videos when they come out. Happy skating, and I'll see you next time.